Imagine stepping into a quiet, elegant room where a young woman lies on a bed, looking confidently at the viewer. Her pale skin contrasts with the dark surroundings as a black cat arches beside her, adding a touch of mystery. The colors are muted, yet striking. Soft whites and deep shadows create a sense of stillness, almost challenging anyone to look away. The most intriguing detail? Her piercing gaze, as if she's not afraid to be judged. Painted by Édouard Manet in 1863, Olympia shocked people in its time, pushing boundaries with its bold portrayal of a woman in control. Dive in to explore how Manet used this controversial work to challenge society's views on beauty, power, and independence. Olympia, painted by Édouard Manet in 1863, measures about 51 by 74 inches. This daring work was created during a time of significant change, as artists began challenging traditional ideals and society's norms. Manet's painting shocked viewers at the Paris Salon, where it first appeared, due to its bold depiction of a reclining nude woman, confronting the viewer with a confident gaze. Today, Olympia is displayed in the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, where it continues to captivate and provoke thoughts on beauty, power, and independence. This masterpiece, Olympia, when it was first shown in the Paris Salon, it shocked people with its bold portrayal of a nude woman. But this isn't just any nude. This is a woman who looks directly at us, confronting us in a way that makes us feel like we're the ones being judged. Manet's Olympia remains a powerful piece, capturing a moment in history when art began to challenge the way people thought about beauty, power, and independence. Now, let's delve into the composition. Right here in the center, this woman, Olympia herself, is reclined on a bed with her body turned slightly, but her face is looking right at us. Her gaze is direct, almost challenging. She's holding herself up, leaning slightly forward, as if she's poised and alert. Her hand rests over her thigh, and this subtle gesture seems to say that she's the one in control of who sees her. To her left, a small black cat with arched back sits at the edge of the bed, almost like a guardian or a symbol of mystery. It's a small detail, but it adds an element of tension. Just to her right, a servant, standing in the shadows, presents her with a bouquet of flowers, likely a gift from an admirer, but Olympia seems uninterested, almost indifferent. Now, let's look at the colors Manet used. Notice the muted palette, with soft whites, warm flesh tones, and deep dark shadows. These colors make the woman's pale skin stand out against the darker backdrop, drawing our eyes to her first. There are earthy browns and blacks framing her figure, which add a quiet, almost somber mood to the scene. And right here, the sharp contrast between her skin and the darker areas makes the light on her body seem even brighter, almost like she's emerging from darkness into the light. It's a striking choice, emphasizing her presence in the room. This subtle palette makes her confidence seem even bolder, as she alone commands the light in this darkened space. The room around her is dark, enhancing the feeling that she's almost glowing in contrast. The starkness of her surroundings feels intimate, yet isolated, as if she exists in her own world. There's a sense of simplicity, almost coldness to the setting, which makes her presence feel even stronger. Every element here, her gaze, her posture, the dark room, and the restrained color palette, all come together to give us an image of a woman who is calm, composed, and utterly unafraid. In Olympia, Manet captured not only a person, but an attitude, a defiance, a mystery. And that's why this painting continues to hold our attention, even today. So now that we've explored the composition and visual elements, let's dive a bit deeper into the themes of Olympia. This painting isn't just a portrayal of a woman, it's a statement on power, independence, and society's perceptions. When we look at Olympia, we're seeing a woman who defies the expectations of her time. In the 19th century, paintings of nude women were often idealized, meant to be admired passively. But here, Manet breaks that tradition. Olympia isn't lying back with a dreamy expression, lost in her own world. No, she's looking right at us, demanding our attention and making us consider her as a real person, not just a beautiful form. Right here, her gaze, steady and unwavering, challenges us to ask ourselves what we're really seeing. It's almost as if she's inviting us to question our assumptions. Is she simply a muse, a model, or is she someone with her own story, her own desires? The way she holds herself, the position of her hand, all suggest a sense of agency and control over her body and her space. This is a woman who knows exactly who she is, and she's not here to play a passive role for anyone's enjoyment. She owns her power, and that was a radical message in Manet's time. And now, let's think about the social context. Olympia was painted during a time when women's roles were very restricted. Women were expected to be modest, reserved, and dependent on the men around them. But here's Olympia, not hiding anything, completely unashamed, almost daring us to judge her. Her unapologetic stance challenges the viewer and society itself, saying, "I am who I am, and I owe nothing to your expectations." Then, consider the black cat by her feet. In Manet's time, cats were often symbols of sensuality, even of rebellion. Unlike the loyal, obedient dogs found in many traditional portraits, this cat is tense, almost fierce, adding an air of defiance and independence to the scene. It's like a mirror to Olympia's own spirit, untamed, self-assured, and indifferent to approval. So, in the end, Olympia is more than a controversial painting. It's a challenge. It invites us to think about the power dynamics between viewer and subject, to confront our own biases, and to consider what it means to be truly independent in a world that often seeks to define us. Manet's masterpiece stands as a powerful reminder that art isn't just about beauty. It's also a way to question, to provoke, and to inspire.